日本時間10月15日、ロサンゼルスドジャースがナ・リーグ優勝決定シリーズ第2戦でミルウォーキー・ブリュワーズに快勝しました。先発の山本由伸は9回1失点の完投でポストシーズン2勝目を挙げ、敵地での連勝に大きく貢献しました。山本は試合後、締めくくるつもりで自信を持って投げましたと振り返りました。初回、先頭打者に初球本塁打を許した場面については、初回は反省するところになりましたけど、結果的に勝てたので、ポストシーズンは勝つことが大事なのですごい良かったと思いますと笑顔で語りました。現地中継でも試合を完全に掌握している。今夜は終始、火の打ちどころがないと称賛が相次ぎ、完投達成の瞬間は大いに盛り上がりました。試合後も山本の圧巻の投球を称える声が広がっています。この模様を日本語字幕付きでご紹介します。
Murph, when you guys faced Yamamoto earlier in the season, knocked him out in the first inning, is there anything you can take from that game in preparation for this one?
It's hard. It's hard. He was getting his feet wet, you know what I mean? And that happens to every pitcher. But he's going to make the adjustment, you know what I mean? He's been really, really good. He's been one of the best 5 pitchers in baseball, and you look at his numbers are just incredible. Yeah, I mean, we've studied him, and there's days he's, like Snell was last night, lights out. But you have to combat it. And this is how you can't beat number ones like that if you don't have a strategy going in that kind of, even if he's really good, here's some ways we can knock him off course and maybe get him out of the game sooner.
When you pay someone the kind of contract that the Dodgers paid for Yoshinobu Yamamoto, these are the kind of results you were hoping for and, dare I say, expecting.
Yeah, top 5 pitcher in the game.
Oh, yeah,
what a bold play. And I know there was a lot of teams in on him, but to go 325, never pitching on U.S. soil and dominating U.S. hitters or big league hitters.
A little bit of a risk there.
Big time risk.
Watching him pitch in Japan, I mean, obviously they had, plenty of eyeballs on him. You're getting a super talented pitcher. But the fact that there's that little bit of unknown, there's no track record in the big leagues going into it, giving him that kind of money, that kind of contract, there's a little bit of doubt, a little bit of risk. But obviously they were super confident in what his ability can become and the instant superstar he could be in the big league.
He does an amazing job, but he really dove in on what makes this guy so successful, and then maybe what's a game plan to kind of combat it for the Brewers. You take a look at his 2025 stats with MLB ranks. He was top 5 across the board. I mean, ERA's 5th, fielding independent pitching. Those are the things he can control. Homer, strikeouts, walks, he was 8th. Opponent batting average, you can't, there's no process of elimination with this guy.
No, and it doesn't come just like all success either. There were some times, some rough starts throughout, which we're going to see.
Brewers beat him up.
To where he made adjustments start to start as far as like what he needed to do to continue to pitch well and be consistent over the course of the year.
So he pitchers with a +5 run value on 4 different pitch types.
Yeah.
It's obviously the 2 best in the business. And then Yamamoto with the 4-seamer split, curveball, and cutter. The other thing about him, he's a unicorn. He can't go through a lineup twice. He can go through a lineup 15 times in a row. Todd, change me to the next one. Take a look at this. First time through, opponent average, $1.99. It actually gets better.
Yeah.
He actually gets stronger.
Yeah, he gets tougher. Because you have multiple ways to be able to get the same hitter out. So you're not seeing the same look. And you can be as unpredictable as possible. And even on the previous board, Nays threw it in my ear about the fact that those 4 pitches for those 3 guys, Skeens and Skubal, had 2 fastballs in that situation. He just had, you can see it there. He actually has 4 separate pitches. Both these guys have the 4-seam and the sinker.
Sink in there.
So you're still getting heaters. So when you're a hitter, you still can eliminate. You still have 50-50 shot
there to get rid of.
Here, you have no chance of any sort of kind of pattern or any predictability with Yamamoto.
And you can't give up on his fastball because it's 95 plus. That's the thing. I almost would want to go up there and sit off speed, but then he wipes you out. You got no chance. So let's get into it. What does he do really well besides everything? hitting the edges with his fastball, with every pitch basically, but we're going to focus on the fastball and how he's just able to dot it to the outer edges. You take a look, highest percentage of pitches thrown to the edge of strike zone. I mean, he's certainly on this board.
Tyler, I love watching Aces watch Aces. What's one thing you learned about Blake last night and Yoshi tonight?
I think with Blake yesterday, I don't know if I learned it. I think I've always known Blake is just a dog. Like, I don't understand how anyone can hit him. It's just so unpredictable.
They don't.
It's insane. It's all 4 pitches he can throw at any count. No one can sit on anything. It's insanely hard to hit off him.
And what about Yoshi?
I think he's cool under pressure. I think he's always consistent. Like, anytime I see him during his workout or when he's on the mound, bullpens, he's always everything's the same. Like, very, very just consistent all the way around, and he's just a fun guy to watch.
Tyler, you saw these Brewers twice this year. What'd you take away?
They're really selective. They don't swing and miss a lot, and that's part of my game. They control the zone really well. But I think as long as I'm like in the zone with some good strike the ball stuff, I'll pitch well.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
It has been not only efficient, but very little stress behind him. He has retired 11 straight, 72 strikes in the 101 pitches he's thrown. That's a big strike percentage.
And I think that's probably one of Dave Roberts' thought process, right? If there were some stressful pitches, he's at 101. My guy did everything, but the way he's been able to control the game, he said with Snell last night, pulled him, it got close, so I'm not taking any chances tonight.
Yamamoto was a star in Japan for the Oryx Buffaloes in the Pacific League, Japanese major leagues. And while he has not thrown a complete game in the major leagues as a Dodger, that was a pretty regular occurrence in Japan.
Yeah, he had 14 complete games in Japan where they're allowed to throw more pitches than they are here. We have, of course, the most arbitrary 100-pitch mark, and that's for everyone. Doesn't matter if you're 6'8" or 6'4" or 5'10". 100-pitch is the mark.
Signed a 12-year, $325 million deal. Largest contract for a pitcher in Major League history at the time. Not to mention the $50 million posting fee the Dodgers paid his team in Japan, Oryx. For moments like this, 2 of his 3 starts, superb in the postseason this year. Here he comes, the 0-2, and a swing and a miss, and Yoshi Yamamoto with his crown jewel as a Dodger. It is a complete game. He goes the distance, and the Dodgers win game 2 by a score of 5-1. And Yamamoto stands tall on this night in Milwaukee.
We don't get to see it very often, but the smile that comes on a starting pitcher's face when he's got 27 outs, what a gem. And this might be the best splitter of a lot of good splitters on the whole night. This one just took off.
He was outstanding tonight, in complete control. You talked about it. Watch it drop off on this ball. He struggled with that pitch against the Phillies, made the adjustment tonight, and the Dodgers pitching staff has come in here 2 games, 5 hits and 2 runs, 18 strikeouts for the Brewers offense.
The Dodgers put on a pitching clinic here 2 days in Milwaukee. Their last 28 postseason games, they've won 22.
He got a wow for himself. Snell and Yamamoto. Snell was as good as it gets yesterday. One of the greatest postseason pitching performances in Dodger history. And Yamamoto backs it up here tonight with a complete game. The first in 21 years in Dodger postseason history.
Tommy, what Yoshino Yamamoto did on the mound today to throw a complete game in the postseason where the stakes are higher, it's so much more intense. What was it like just playing behind him tonight?
Incredible. You know, nobody does that. You know, you have starters in the playoffs, usually go 4 or 5 innings now, and we had Snell go 8 yesterday and Yoshi 9 today. It's incredible, and it's so much fun to play behind.
obviously had success in the postseason, but what is it like when you can get the tone set from the starters with guys like you mentioned Snell, but it doesn't stop with him. It's Yoshinobu. It continues with Tyler Glasnow, and it feels like the list goes on with this team.
Yeah, when they keep throwing up zeros, it makes it easy on the offense. All we have to do is just keep piling on, and they keep them where they're at, and it kind of frees us up to have good at bats and just keep on scoring runs.
How many aces do you have in your team right now?
I mean, all of them are throwing the ball amazing, but we kind of knew that. I mean, that's not like a shock to us. Since they've been doing it since they've been healthy, all of them back, they've all been doing that. So it's not really surprising. It's just pretty amazing how, Snell did it and couldn't pitch much better than that. And then what Yama did today was just, it was amazing.
So sitting on the bench, watching this night after night, how would you describe that feeling?
I don't know how to answer that. I mean, it's just good pitching. Yeah, I mean, they're throwing the ball really well. Yeah.
Yamamoto dominant tonight, but is there one thing that sticks out to you about his performance that you'll remember?
I mean, I think with him and Snell both, just multiple pitches wherever they want to in the zone. That's just really hard to cover. You can't cover his split, curveball, sinker, cutter, four seam. You just can't cover all that. And the same with Blake last night. You can't cover his changeup, slider, curveball, fastball when he's putting it wherever he wants to. So. Their stuff is unbelievable, and then they're able to maintain it throughout the game, and then their command doesn't suffer throughout the game. They don't miss a spot, so that's what happens.
Teams always talk about what's the way to win in October because it's just a different animal than the regular season. Have we all been overthinking it? Is it just put a good starting pitcher out there every day?
I wasn't overthinking it. I mean, it was just good players win. I mean, that's just at the end of the day, good teams, good players.
Being a part of a lot of postseason runs, how would you describe the emotions of getting happy, being up 2-0, but also still being focused to close it out?
Yeah, I mean, we've done our job so far. I think obviously winning on the road is huge, going back and having home field advantage for the rest of the series. So try to get a little sleep before this day game and be ready to go.
Talked about just when it comes to your son Charlie and pitchers he should kind of try to emulate or look up to, Yoshinobu being one of them. When you look at just a performance like tonight, how he was able to bounce back after that leadoff home run, is this kind of a perfect example of what you'd want Charlie to see?
Yeah, I mean, Yoshi's mechanics are, that's how you teach it. It's just so simple, and it's beautiful, honestly. It's really pretty. So, yeah, I tell Charlie to watch him, and I mean, if he was left-handed, I'd tell him to watch Blake.
Will Yamamoto becomes the first Dodger in postseason to pitch a complete game since Jose Lima in 2004. What was he doing so well tonight?
He was just executing pitches, getting ahead of guys, getting early soft contact, punching guys out with 2 strikes. Yeah, just super efficient tonight, and that was really special.
To catch Snell last night and to catch Yamamoto tonight, what's it like for you behind the plate there, and how much easier does it make your job?
Yeah, it's still a tough job, but yeah, the last 2 nights have been impressive by those 2. It's been incredible. That's probably the 2 best back-to-back games pitched ever that I've seen. So just glad they're on our side.
How impressive was it after you let that leadoff homer to Churio to just settle in and just dominate from there? Doesn't allow another run, only 2 hits after that.
Yeah, I got punched in the mouth, first pitch of the game. Good swing by him, but yeah, to get 27 outs after that, that was impressive. What he did tonight, yeah, that was just domination.
How good was the splitter in particular? You seem to really rely on that.
Yeah, it was really good tonight. It was kind of inning to inning. Some innings it wasn't biting as much. We kind of did some other things. Some innings it was, and we just kind of leaned on it. And yeah, he was just executing. He kind of had everything going. His curveball was good. The fastball cutter were pretty good. Yeah, he was just mixing and throwing strikes and putting guys away.
At one point, it looked like you saw something and called out prior. And Will, what did you see and what were you trying to do there?
I was just trying to make sure he was staying locked in. That's all that was.
That's a tough question, man. I mean, Blake's night was pretty historic, and then Yoshi finished the game. Both equally incredible. The thing that stood out most to me was Yoshi giving up the leadoff homer, and then that really being the only damage all game long. That was pretty impressive, and he found a way to gut through some innings there, and there was a couple innings where he lost the command a little bit and still found a way to navigate around that. So they're both equally impressive. I don't know which one you'd rather pick, but I guess technically Yoshi finished the game. So
what has it meant for you guys to get this level of starting pitching and to see Yama go and complete that game tonight?
It's just incredible. You know, we said before this postseason started, our starting pitching was going to be what carried us, and so far it's been exactly that. I mean, what is that now? It's 8 games we've played, 7 quality starts. That's pretty impressive. And if you're trying to build the recipe to win games, that would be where you would start.
Hi, Max. You have seen Yamamoto last 2 years. Do you think this is the best you ever seen?
I think it's the most comfortable I've seen him, for sure. You know, the more I've gotten to know him, the more I still think there's more in there, and I think he thinks there's more in there too, which is really hard to say because he's been incredible this year. He's, you know, been our most reliable guy, and, you know, going all the way back to last year in the postseason, he's been our guy through the postseason, and you know, he looks really, really good. But like I said, to me, it's the most comfortable I've seen him. Just, you know, you make that transition, you come to a new country, a new baseball league. It's really, really tough. And, you know, I think it took him a little bit last year to kind of find that groove. And, you know, the way he showed up in spring this year, you could definitely tell he was a lot more comfortable, you know, being around the guys, just how everything works, you know, the season. And this year, he's just kind of taken it to a whole nother level. And despite all of that, I do still think there's more in there for him. He's just incredible. The way he goes about pitching, goes about attacking hitters, you know, the number of pitches he can throw, the number of pitches he can command. It's really, really, really impressive.
Well, first, just seeing a pitcher go out there, throw a complete game in the postseason, it's so much more intense, higher stakes. What was it like seeing Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound tonight?
I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I mean, we've all seen it all year long. You know, when he's on, he's in total control. He fills up the strike zone. He's got a lot of different pitches that he can throw for strikes. A lot of pitches that he can throw ball to strike or strike to ball, keep him off balance. And I think the most impressive part about tonight was keeping his composure after the first pitch homer. First pitch of the game homer, and, you know, he kept his composure. He didn't let that affect him, and kept us in the game. I mean, it was huge for us to be able to, you know, tie the game and take the lead the very next inning. But you know, he was in cruise control, and he allowed us to, you know, to wait it out. I guess it took us a little bit to start scoring again, but, you know, he kept us in the game, and till we were able to tack on little by little to where he was able to get comfortable and just keep cruising. And I think for us, you know, starting pitching has been huge the entire postseason, and luckily we were able to score a few runs for him tonight.
Murph, just the way Snell and then Yamamoto have been able to be in complete control and kind of dictate the at-bats through the duration of the game. What have you seen specifically tonight?
I mean, they were both great. You know, both those pitchers were as dominant as two pitchers have been. You know, we chased way more than we've chased all year. We've been the best in baseball at not chasing. These pitchers brought out the worst in us. Yeah, if I would have told you that the Dodgers are going to score 7 runs in 2 games, and what was the outcome in the first 2 games, I'd say there's a chance we won one of them for sure.
Given the way postseason baseball has been played in recent years, how surprising was it to you to see 2 starters pitching in the 8th and 9th inning of playoff games 2 days in a row, and what does that sort of mean for the rest of the series?
When they're that's a good question. When they're that good, you know, it is surprising, but they're that good, you know, and they were dominant. Both guys were dominant for 17 innings, so hats off to those 2 guys. They deserve all the credit. They really do. They deserve all the credit. And that catcher, Smith, deserves a ton of credit because he was right with them, in tune in the game, and they're very impressive. For those 17 innings were as good as I've seen. So
Snell obviously went heavy on the changeups yesterday, and then Yamamoto, he's got a deep mix, but, you know, a lot of the off-speed kind of hiding the fastball to a degree. Do you feel like that's a concerted effort from them to counter the aggressiveness that you guys typically have on fastballs in the zone?
Yeah, I mean, the difference is the quality of the off-speed. You know, this guy's split looks like a heater. Comes out of the same tunnel, it looks exactly the same. He's got an impeccable delivery, so he doesn't miss a lot. And the ball shows up as a heater bang goes down, and his heater shows up as a heater and then rises. So it's pretty impressive. But you have to battle, foul off pitches, run his pitch count, do whatever they have to do, and it's been put in our face now for 2 days. 2 great performances, but that doesn't mean the series is over.
Okay, thanks, Murph.
Thank you,
We will
guys.
See you in LA.
Okay, see you guys. You okay?
Oh.
All right. You okay? Huh? You gonna sleep on the plane?
To both the left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters, it seemed like you went inside a lot. Was there anything that you saw maybe yesterday in Snell's game, or maybe did you take anything out of your last start here that made you think that that was the way to go?
マークコーチとか、ウィルの意見とか、いろんな意見を足しながら、組み立てをしました。はい。
It had been 8 years since somebody threw a complete
Sorry,
game.
can you speak up a little
Yeah,
bit?
it had been 8 years since someone threw a complete game in the playoffs. Just what did it mean to be able to go 9 innings, and especially with the way your start here in the regular season went?
どうですか。8年ぶりっていうのは、ついさっきまで知らなかったんですけど、とにかく、1イニングずつ集中して、テンポよく投げれたので、なんとか、最後まで試合を締めくくることができてよかったと思います。
After the homer on the first pitch, just 2 hits the rest of the way, you didn't seem to let it bother you at all the rest of the night. How did you stay focused, not let that get to you at all?
本当に1人目のバッターだったんで、すごい悔しかったですけど、とにかく切り替えて、次のバッターに向かって、投げていきました。
When Doc was in here, he was saying how
Can you speak up a little bit?
I'm sorry. When Doc was in here, he was saying how he didn't really give you a lot of rope in the playoffs last year, but this year he really trusts you to go deep in games. So how meaningful is that he now trusts you to throw 110 pitches, throw 9 innings in a big game like this?
信頼してもらえるとか、任せてもらえるっていうのはすごく、選手として嬉しいことだなと思いますし、ますます頑張りたいなと思いますし、今日は、そう言って信頼してくれて、それに結果で、しっかり返せたのが良かったと思います。
Max Muncy said he thinks that even after this, you have this other level he could see you getting to, that you could even be better somehow. Is he right? Do you feel like you're pitching at your best? And if not, what more do you kind of want from yourself?
今日の試合でもやっぱり自分の成長はすごく感じましたし、初回だったり、反省するところは、またありましたけど、今日の試合を、こういった大切な試合を勝っていくことで、自分の成長につながればいいなとも、思います。
That leadoff homer seemed to give them momentum and get the crowd going. How nice or important is it that Teoscar Hernandez responds with a home run in the top of the second, and they give you the lead, so that when you come back out to the mound in the second, you're now pitching with the lead?
初回に、打たれたのを、すぐ取り返してもらって、同点になったので、とにかく集中して投げないとなと、思いましたし、その後、リードしてもらって、とにかくその点差を守ることに集中して投げました。
確率が 40% って、これはもちろんアベレージ、山本さんのアベレージも高いしっていうところなんですけども、これは自分が思ったところに、投げられたというふうに解釈していいですか。今日いろんなボールが。
そうですね。今日はいろんなボールを、使っていけたので、立ち上がり投げてみてすごく積極的に来てるのはすごい感じたので、そこで有効なボールを、いいところに投げていけたので、そういったところがつながったかなとは思います。
お疲れ様です。今日率直に投げ終わった瞬間ってどう思いました？お気持ちとして。
試合を最後まで終わらせれたので、そこへの達成感といいますか、そういった気持ちが、すごく、ありました。
初回に、先頭に打たれた時の心境、打たれてから気持ちをどうやって切り替えたかっていうのと、あと9回のマウンドを託された時の心境っていうのを2つ教えてください。
初回は、とにかくまだ1人目だったので、ソロホームランでしたし、そんなになんていうんだろう、メンタルに来ることなく切り替えて、投げることができたのと、9回上がるって決めた時は、 感覚もすごい良かったので、とにかく自信持って投げようと思いました。
Fourth row.
ナイスピッチングでした。先ほどの質問とちょっと被るんですが、ゲームセットの瞬間にマウンドにいるっていうのは本当に日本以来だと思いますけど、こう感覚的にはどんなもんでしょう。ゲームセットの瞬間をマウンド上で迎えるというのは。
こっちに来て初めてだったので、すごい達成感を感じましたし、とにかく、チームの勝ちに貢献できたので、それが一番嬉しかったです。
Going up top.
昨日先発したスネル投手もそうですし、このままグラスナウ投手も大谷選手もいて今本当に非常に先発陣全体的にいい状態だと思うんですけど、先発陣全体として今の状態どのようにこう受け止めているか、その中で自分が一角を担っているというところでお気持ちお願いします。
みんな、すごいいいピッチングをしているので、そのリズムに乗ったり、昨日もスネルがすごくいいピッチングしてたので、自分もこういけるぞっていう気持ちになりましたし、すごい結果以上にいい効果といいますかそういったのが感じてます。はい。
お疲れ様です。ちょっと今更であれなんですけれども、去年いろいろ調整することがあって、修正したりいろんなことがあったと思うんですけれども、今そのピッチング組み立ても含めてピッチングが楽しいなっていう、そういう感覚ってありますか？
うまくいった時はやっぱり楽しく感じますし、打たれたら悔しいですし、はい、そんな感じですね。はい。
お疲れ様です。5回の監督がマウンドにかけた場面、あれさっき監督からちょっと混乱があったっていう話があったんですけど、あそこは一体、
初球スプリットのサインだったんですけど、あんまり初球振ってくると思わなかったんで、ゾーンにゆっくりというか、ちょっとスピードを落としたスプリットを投げたかったんですけど、結果うまくいかず、なんて言うんだろうな、その違和感を感じて、なんて言うんだろう、ただ体調を心配されたというか、そういった感じで、問題は全くないですけど、はい。
This is taking me back to the old school days of starting pitching, Bill. Watching this fires me up. When you watch what Blake Snell does last night, Yamamoto, we hear it all the time. Good pitching takes over and beats good hitting. That's exactly what we're watching here.
Yeah, and I hope somebody doesn't say, well, where's Milwaukee small? You don't have a chance.
No.
Yeah. There's nobody on base. You can't do anything. You can't move them over. You can't do this. You can't do that. This dude was painting all around that box as far as the strike zone goes and was just dominant tonight.
Yeah, for Yamamoto, 9 innings, goes the distance, scatters 3 hits. The only run the Brewers get is on the first pitch he threw in the ballgame. That was the solo homer by Jackson Churio. Struck out 7, in complete control. Milwaukee didn't have a single runner in scoring position in this game. In fact, in 2 games in the series, at home, one at-bat with a runner in scoring position. Tough to win that way.
You're not going to win that way. It's just all it is to it. These guys were paid and brought into Los Angeles for this moment right here. You paid Blake Snell, a 2-time Cy Young Award winner. You pay Yamamoto $300 million because of what he's done in Japan. We saw him in the World Baseball Classic. The moments aren't too big for these guys. And then you're talking about Shohei and Glasnow, picking between those two, who goes next. It's not fair.
It's not going to be very comfortable plane flight back, out to LA as far as Milwaukee's concerned, because you can't even look at each other and say, okay, well, we got a chance now. No, it seems to keep coming. I mean, these were 2 awesome performances by the Dodgers.
They had to come back and get that game last night. I love Milwaukee and what they're about. If they were going to have a legitimate shot, I thought they had a window last night. You just saw the experience and the inexperience last night. The Brewers, if they have a little more experience, I think, Terrain can control the strike zone, we might have saw a different outcome.